10th class we have started chapter number 12 electricity, and today we will discuss our new topic, that is heating effect of electric current. So this is our today's topic, that is heating effect of electric current. So what do you mean by heating effect? It is that when there is a current flow through any circuit, through any wire, that the temperature of that wire rises. Okay, there is some heat is generated in that conductor, that is we call it heating effect of current. So let us discuss how this is happen. Let us say we have a wire of any material. Okay, when we connect this wire with a cell or battery, and when we turn on the switch, we know that flow of current will start, that is flow of charge from positive terminal to negative terminal. Okay, we assume that the conventional direction of current is from positive to negative. Okay, so current starts flowing in this conductor. Now what will happen? We know that this wire is made up of atoms, and since the wire is solid, so we can say these atoms are closely packed. Okay, can I say these atoms are closely packed? Answer is yes. So these atoms are closely packed. So what will happen when a charge particle enter from this side? Answer is it will feel some resistance due to these particles. So what will happen? Since battery is applying potential difference, that means battery is doing work, it is giving energy to the charge, so it has to flow. What will happen now? Answer is this charge particle will collide with these atoms. Okay, charge particle will collide the atoms of the wire and it come to that side. Due to this collision, heat energy is generated. Okay, due to this collision, energy is generated, energy is produced, and we call this heat energy. Okay, so this is heating effect of electric current. If we want to make a formula for this, how will we derive a formula? So we know that potential difference is work done upon charge. Okay, if I cross multiply this term, we will get W is equals to VQ. This is the work done by battery. So I can say this work done will convert into heat energy. This work done, if converted into, is converted into heat energy. So I can write this as heat or energy as VQ. So this is the formula for heat generated in a conductor when there is flow of current. Okay, if I discuss that, okay, let us discuss some more formulas. So we can use, we know I is equals to Q by T, and after cross multiplying this we will get Q is equals to IT. I can put this formula here and we will get H is equals to VIT. Okay, so I can say the heat produced in a conductor is directly proportional to voltage applied, directly proportional to current, and directly proportional to the time. If we use Ohm's law, and I can put instead of V as IR, I will get one more formula, that is instead of V we are putting IR, it will become IR into IT, that will I square RT. So this is one more formula for heat. The formula is H is equals to I square RT. This was given by Joule, so we write is at Joule's law of heating. Joule's law of heating, it states that the heat produced in any conductor is directly proportional to square of current. It is directly proportional to the resistance of that wire, and it is directly proportional to the time for which current is flowing. This is called Joule's law of heating. Okay, now if we want to derive one more formula, then we can put I is equals to V by R from this formula in the place of this I, and we will get H is equals to V. Instead of I, we are putting V by R T. So our new formula will be V square by R T. Okay, so there are 4 formulas to find heat produced in any conductor. These formulas are H is equals to VQ, that is potential difference multiplied by charge, or we can use VIT, that is potential difference into charge, potential difference into current into time. Okay, similarly the third formula was I square RT. It is the square of current into R into T. We call this as Joule's law of heating, and last formula was V square by R into T. Okay, these are the 4 formulas for heating effect of electric current. We use this formula in most of the cases, since we know that voltage is the property which do not depend on resistance. Okay, no matter which type of wire we are using, it is the property of cell that how much potential it is giving. Okay, so we use generally this formula. Similarly, resistance is also the property of material, so these are independent quantities, so that's why we use mostly this formula. Okay, generally H is equals to I square RT. This formula is used when voltage is constant, or we can say we use this formula in series. Similarly, V square by R T, this is the most common formula we use. If we compare these two formulas, first formula say that heat is directly proportional to R. Okay, second formula says that heat is inversely proportional to R. This is the most important question from exam point of view, that in first case heat is directly proportional to R, in second case heat is inversely proportional to R. So is there any contradiction? Answer is no, there is no contradiction, because for first case, when heat is directly proportional to R, we are taking current as constant, I is constant, but in this case we are taking voltage as constant quantity. So this is the difference. Okay, since we know that these two formulas are derived from this formula, H is VIT, from this formula, so both the formulas are correct. Okay, so note it down, and after that we will discuss an example. So this is the question. It is from NCERT exercise question number 4. Two conducting wires of same material of equal length and equal diameter are first connected in series, then in parallel. So we have to find the ratio of heat generated in these two cases. So what we have given, we have two wires. Okay, first thing we have given, they have equal lengths. Second thing, equal diameter, and third is same material. So if I can say dimensions are equal and material is equal, so if we apply the formula of resistance, R is equals to rho L by A, that is rho L by pi R square. Rho means resistivity, depend on material, material is same, so R, rho is same for both, length is same. If diameter is equal, that means radius is equal, therefore area also equal. So I can say resistance of wire 1 and resistance of wire 2 are equal. Okay, this is the first conclusion we can draw from the given data. Now, given that these are connected first in series and then these are connected in parallel, this is R, R. So we have to find the ratio of heat generated in the two cases. Okay, so we will use the same formula since it is connected with this potential difference applied is same. Okay, this is also given. This is potential difference is same. So we can complete the circuit by using a battery of V. So what will be the total resistance in first case? Answer is we use Rs, that is R plus R, 2R. In second case we will use Rp, that is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. After solving this we will get R by 2. So what was the formula for heat? Heat for series, answer is V square by R T. Formula will be same, V square by Rp into T. Now we have to find ratio. Hs upon Hp, that is V square by Rs, the value of Rs is 2R into T, and V square Rp is R by 2 into T. T will cancel T, V square will cancel V square, R will cancel R. So we got 1 by 2 divided by 1 by 2 and it becomes 1 by 4. So the ratio of heat is 1:4. Okay, this is how we can solve questions related to heat. So this is how we can solve question related to heat. Okay, so in our next video we will continue this chapter. Okay, thank you.